Welcome to Smash Bros. Here we discuss our favorite pulp culture from retro video games, TV shows, movies, comics, wrestling, and all types of other stuff while getting smashed on a couple
or several brews,
which we'll review at the end of the episode. This is Gamer Blurred
and Sam,
and let's get smashed. What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Smash Bros. Today's episode is going to talk about two of our favorite games, Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori Will of the Wisps.
I know this is not original. I get it. You probably watched 1,000 reviews of this. We just played the game because we both just got Gamer Pass. So you're going to deal with it. And I told the Blurred about Ori, what was it, a couple weeks ago? No, I was
probably about like a month ago. You got me into it.
I was like, dude, this game. It was funny because we have a group chat with another coworker of ours. But I would just be like, and I would just randomly be like, this dude sucks. I'm like, oh yeah, and it was just random stuff. Like they had no idea what I was talking about. But I'm like, oh, is that where you put it? Is that where you put it? Is that how? Oh, the spike's gonna kill me there. Cool. But yes, this is one of those things I have. But let's tell them what we're sipping on today. I am drinking Greater Good Lucidity. Lucidity?
I think so.
Here's the funny. I read stuff, and sometimes I read it so literal that I come off wrong. Lucidity. It's an American Pale Ale. It is 8% alcohol by volume. Indian Pale Ale. It's a local brew company in Worcester, Massachusetts. Lucidity's what does it say? Lucidity is a bright American IPA brewed with Pilsner malt base that is generously dry hopped with Eldorado, Idaho 7, and Citra, yielding a soupy, juicy hop profile. This thirst-quenching finish is refreshingly clean and crisp. I've been having a couple. I apologize. But I think it's actually really good. I like the I know this is going to be like, I don't want to be controversial, but it is a rainbow style front. And I believe that it's a reference to Pride Month, and it is June, so it is Pride Month. So I actually really enjoy the inclusivity, and I also enjoy the hops. Are we reviewing it at the end?
Yeah, but did that say soupy hot brew?
Soupy hot brew? No. Did I say that? Super.
Oh, super. Okay.
Oh, no.
I thought you said
super. Oh, I might have said that.
I was like,
yielding a super juicy hop profile. I mean, technically, they boil it, then they cool it, so it could be soupy.
Okay. We'll see the review at the end. I'm going to guess you like it, but we'll see.
Right. Oh, I usually tell everybody at the beginning, and then you tell me, don't do that.
So I am drinking a Be Hoppy, which is a 6.5% American IPA.
Yum.
This is from Wormtown Brewery, which is also Massachusetts. So Be Hoppy is our take on the Left Coast IPA. The huge aromatics and big citrus-forward flavors come from the copious amount of hops we use during our double dry hop and hop back processes. Let our IPA put a smile in your face. Harvey Ball will be proud of. Don't worry, be happy. We'll see how that goes.
Ooh, what did it say? So Harvey Ball, isn't he the inventor of the smiley face?
That's probably it. That actually sounds correct.
This is the reason why the Woo Sox, by the way, the Boston Red Sox affiliate, is now their mascot's the smiley face. In Worcester, they created the guy who invented the trademarked smiley face. Not that everybody, everyone made a smiley face, was Harvey Ball. So that's the reason behind it.
Good shit.
He created Be Happy, right? Be like smile, don't keep on trucking.
Be happy.
Wasn't Forrest Gump friends with him?
Was it?
I don't know, dude. Didn't he put a face and he said, "Don't keep on trucking"?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched that in forever.
Jenny.
All
right, let's get into it.
It's like a good movie, but not good.
Jenny sucks. All right.
Worst.
We'll do
female effort.
We'll do another episode just on Forrest Gump and how terrible of a woman Jenny is. All right. So Ori in the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisp. So these games are Metrovanias.
I called them platformers, but I think I was wrong.
So they are. So Metrovanias are a subgenre of platformers. But basically, they are games that are focused on an interconnected world where exploration is typically hindered until some sort of power, item, or etc. is found. You can backtrack and then gain access to those other areas and continue progress and or beat bosses that you couldn't beat before.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So it's called Metrovanias, right? Is it because of Super Metroid?
Kind of. So it was actually popularized by Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which unfortunately I have not played. I want to play, but they took a lot of elements from Metroid. So, which had a lot of the backtracking to get those powers, and then you go and you beat Ridley, and then go into all the other
Which
shit.
I actually played. Someone's going to be mad at me. I mean, if anyone listens to this, Blood Vein, it's on it. Like
Blood Rain.
Yeah. That was the same thing. It's actually pretty good. We can do that later. But it's a Metrovania. Oh, because there's a split between Metro and Vania.
There you go.
Okay,
he's got it. So honestly, we're probably going to have the episode just on this because there's a lot of cool games. So it was kind of popularized more recently. Because there's a lot of indie games. So like I just played Gato Roboto, which was total surprise. Never thought I would fall in love with a game about a cat in a mech suit. Well,
so it's good.
Actually, who cannot fall in love with a cat in a mech suit?
I mean, he's adorable.
Yeah,
and it's robots.
It was awesome. And then I don't know if you ever played it, but Shadow Complex on the 360 was absolutely amazing.
No.
Definitely play it if you can.
Okay.
So, like I said, well, we're definitely going to have a
whole thing about Metro.
Because I can talk about this all day. But yeah, so let's get into Ori. Surprise spikes, surprise traps, and surprise death. All around.
So the thing is that like with Ori, I like and also don't like. So it keeps taunting you like your Xbox. I don't know if you guys have like if you guys are playing it on the Xbox, sometimes when you let your thing go idle, they tell you about the achievements you can make. And they'll be like, you won't like if you never die, you can get an achievement. Which is, by the way, almost impossible when you first play this game. Because in order to figure out half of the moves, you have to die in order to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to, because it doesn't side scroll well. And then you're like, oh, there's spikes, and I can't press LB here. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do, blah, blah, blah. We'll go get into it. But then you're like, okay, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. And the next thing you know, you fly back to where you started from, and then you have to start again.
So, as Sam mentioned at the beginning of this,
boo! No, but I love the game.
He called me.
I did.
Just screaming about how annoying this game was. I absolutely loved it. And
I faced
just like, yeah, it immediately got me like hooked into the game before I even played, just because of the absolute passion he had about how pissed off he was and hard it was. Which I was like, at the same time, I'm like, all right, is it really that hard?
Yep.
Yes, it's this game.
Which you challenged.
This game was made by a masochist.
Which, by the way, like I never played it, but it seems like sometimes it's made by the people who make like Super Mario Maker.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they're like you ever watch those YouTube videos where like they're like, hey man, like when you take a left here, you get hit. It's Wipeout. You ever watch the show Wipeout? Like you're like, okay, so I got over the one obstacle and I'm gonna hit you in the face. You're like, why?
Like, surprise! You're hitting the balls.
Hitting the balls. But. Which, by the way, he just told me that he challenged my gaming ability, which I'm insulted by. But he said, "Is it that hard?" How dare you? And no, I'm not that great of a gamer. But wow.
Well, I know that sometimes, like when a game comes out and you first play it, like I really went into this game not expecting anything, but yeah.
It was good.
It was hard.
Storyline's good.
Speaking of masochist,
adorable.
Am I a masochist because I played this game on hard?
You did it twice.
I did.
which was weird.
Yeah.
He played 1, then 2, and then was like, "Can I play 2, like 1 on hard?" Which is like, why? Which, by the way, what's the difference between hard and normal?
Honestly, it was just health. They were like, "We're gonna make sure you don't save or have health for a long fucking time."
So is it like your health is? Oh, so they just don't give you health?
No, it's spread out a lot more. So I don't know if you remember. I asked you. I was like, "Oh, like what branch should I go off on?" Because I didn't think that you'd be able to finish all of them. So when I played on normal, I was able to finish every single part of the branch.
You finished all of them?
All of them.
I only finished a couple.
And then when I did it on hard, I only got through like halfway of all 3 because I had to make sure I split it evenly to make sure I could like do what I needed to do to actually get to the end.
Which, by the way, my whole thing is always make sure that you're strong.
Yep.
And then I think defense. And then it's like, oh, do you want to find like a secret hidden valley? No, I'm cool. Even though, like, that's the funniest thing. Anytime I play RPGs or anything like that, I'm like, strike. And I think you were the one who told me, was it Witcher?
Probably.
Whatever. It was one of those things where he was like, why don't you like focus? Someone was like, just like maybe you should focus on this. And like Witcher gave me like the ability to parry or something weird. But anytime you focus on anything other than like, I'm going to crank up my strength, it makes the game so much easier. But for some reason, I'm sitting there
The second half of episode 2 will continue in a moment. If you would like to hear the full unadulterated version of this episode, please subscribe to the Smash Bro podcast, which you can find on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. But for now, let's keep getting smashed. I can usually decipher that real easy, and I was like, I have no idea what he's talking about. I tried doing it on my own. I tried finding some other shit. And aside from just YouTube the shit out of it, which I'll admit I've done sometimes, but I was like, I don't want to do it. I want to try to figure out. And by the time I finished the game, I was like, you know.
Listen, I don't YouTube a lot. Like, that's my new thing.
But that's the thing. So me and you come from an age where we didn't have YouTube.
No, you had to buy a $20 strategic guide, which, by the way, I bought. Final Fantasy 9. I said that. I bought it Ocarina of Time, making sure that I know. Kids, you know what? Side note. You want to talk about side quests and fucking shit? Ocarina of Time? The fucking, what was it? The fucking mystery magnet, like Shadow Temple?
With the fucking magnifying glass?
Yeah, there was one part in that whole fucking game I couldn't get past. And it was because you had to use the magnifying glass to look up to the left. It was so fucking out of realm. I even read that shit and was wrong. And I was like, what the is happening here?
Yeah. See, we lived off of word of mouth. We're like, so Metal Gear. Well, we are way off topic. But anyway,
hey,
Metal Gear.
Welcome to Ori.
Metal Gear Solid. When they were like, how do you beat the fucking person? They're like, you can need to plug the fucking.
Oh my god!
Like, all right, what? Who? How do you figure that shit out? You, Konami.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. Same with okay, so like word of mouth. And honest to God, this is back to Zelda. Zelda, Link to the Past. When they told me I had to throw my sword into the fucking, and I had to get the golden sword and silver arrows.
Oh, are you talking about that fucking fairy that you
yeah.
You're like, she's like, oh, what do you want to do? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, but this is for some reason.
No one
didn't ask me to do that till the end.
No.
Yeah.
I just found out I was supposed to throw bombs in there just to get better bombs.
Yeah.
Like, what? This was what we dealt with when we were young.
Yeah, you guys got YouTube. You guys got
if you're a millennial,
strategies
right now,
for.
I'm not making fun of you, but you.
Yeah. IGN's fucking awesome. I use them all the time now. Like, listen, I'm looking for the feline boots of Witcher, and like they're telling me this is where it is, and when I don't see it, I'm like, no, man, this is not the rock. I mean, I guess my game glitched, which, by the way, I think it did. It's all nuts, man.
I YouTube so much now.
Yeah, which sucks. Because here's the thing. No, it sucks.
Right,
and here's the thing.
No,
the medium. No.
I got in trouble. No, I got in trouble. I got in trouble because I used to call that fucking 1-800 line.
I did
at
too.
like 8 o'clock in the morning, and my dad,
My mom was on the line.
Dad got the fucking phone bill, and I got grounded for like fucking 5 weeks because I was like,
Link
no,
to the past.
I
had no idea how to face the
I
third
would
temple.
never call. I love you.
Third temple. You had to hit the tail. I didn't get it at the time. Why? I'm fucking 4, maybe 5, right? I remember listen, my mom's a psychopath. I love her, but she's crazy. And the fact of the matter is, try not to talk to her as much as I can. But one of the psychopathic things leads to this. She's on that number that Nintendo gives you in the fucking strategy guide. You know exactly what I'm talking about. She's on for 45 minutes waiting. That 45-minute call is fucking money. That's $2 a month. That's $90. And she's like, hit the tail. That's it. That's all I needed. IGN gives you that shit for free.
Like, that's these people who made Ori come from that fucking ilk.
Oh,
they are masochists who are like,
you'll figure it out because you can look on the internet.
Do you think this is complicated? It's not. You just need to realize what you need to do.
Which, yeah.
But you're
so
gonna
Ori
die
2
50 times trying to figure it out.
And again, we went on a huge tangent.
Yeah.
And
Ori,
that's how he is.
Ori 1 and Ori 2 are both amazing fucking games.
Absolutely one of the best games I've ever played in my life. But they will frustrate the shit out of you.
Puzzles
Ori 1 more than the second one.
Upon puzzles.
Ori 1 frustrated me the most because it had a saving system that you had to generate yourself. Ori 2 didn't have the same thing. Plus, they gave you an ability where you could heal yourself.
Yeah. So I will say, like, that made me love that game that much more because it was like saving, didn't need to worry about healing, didn't need to worry about. And even though it took energy, it was like they were like
they gave you energy.
Yeah.
And
it was that gif of Dave Chappelle as fucking Rick.
Rick James?
Rick James, like, you want energy?
Yeah, I'll give you some
energy. Yeah. And I was like, I love that.
Because they, like, anytime, like, you needed to use energy, they'd be like, here's a big-ass fucking case of it. And, like, it didn't ruin the experience, which...
Although...
Probably
should try to do hard.
Yeah, well, I didn't do too hard, but I think if you did hard, it maybe, like, make it a little more difficult.
Speaking of which, I never knew. Do you know that there is a difficulty where you have
no, that's what I'm talking about.
Life.
That's an achievement.
How is that fucking possible?
It's not. Go kill yourself. Like, how do I, like, I can't, like...
I want, like, all right, if anybody is listening to this and you did it,
please
find us on, like, YouTube.
We have
put it in
YouTube.
the comments. I need to
Instagram.
Talk to you how you did this. And I need a video. Like, I don't want to just hear someone say they did it. Like, I need to see you actually.
Even if it's not a video, I want a conversation because if you don't tell me the fucking difficulty that came behind it, I need to feel the struggle. I want the struggle.
Like, I actually think it took me longer to play hard than it took me to play normal.
No, that makes sense. Because there was a lot of you being like, not today.
Yep.
Which I actually, honest to God, at Ori 2, at the end of it, I died to the right and then died to the left. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm cool. Now, if you want the spoiler of the story, here's actually what made my wife cry. So when you are hitting here, I'm going to give you a little bit of it. Ori is revitalizing the land of Niwin, right? Niwin. You gotta bring all the wisps together. That's the idea. It's like the will of the wisps. Once you create the will of the wisps, you actually combine them all together. They become the heart of the willow. right? So then you go to the Willow, which is called Willow's End, and that's a fucking asshole area. When you're sitting there, you are sitting there destroying the corruption around the Willow. You got to fight Shriek. You kill Shriek once you defeat the corruption. Shriek, here's where I was talking about, like it's real sad. Shriek gets defeated, almost dies, realizes it's about to die, and then curls up into its stone mother and father's arms as it passes away. And you're like, what the f*** is this game?
Not even like I feel bad that I created discretion. He's like, no.
Still evil. Because what you find out is all the voiceovers are actually Ori that becomes the tree.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like this, I feel like this game fucking just combines itself into
the
Ori first one. Because it's like,
yeah, because Ori becomes the and takes the will of the wisp, aka the heart of the willow, combines itself and becomes a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And the tree of life then now opens itself to all of Newin, right?
Yep.
Newin. And what happens with Newin, it resurrects Ku, which then you see that Nuru and what's the dad's name? Naru and Gumo. Then who, by the way, visited. Oh, I didn't tell you. Ku died.
No, he didn't die. They revived.
No. They did. Well, but during the game, Ku died.
Really messed up.
Oh yeah, Ku died, and you bury him with the Moki. And also, when you're doing this, you realize your mom and dad are hanging out, like coming back to see what, and they go to the grave. And then you resurrect them because you're the spirit tree and you're awesome. Once you do that, and then you realize what happens, which, by the way, this made my wife cry. Nuru, Golem? Gumo. God damn, why can I know? Gumo and Ku all live around you as a tree until they die because you're bringing life to Newin. It is an adorable story.
Yeah. So I was right. Yes.
What?
It is. The stories merge with each other.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yes.
So like once he became the spirit tree, he revitalizes all land.
He merges with Seer. They become the spirit tree, and then at the end of the game, the spirit guardian falls, and that's when Naru picks him up. And they become friends and all that bullshit.
Oh! Wait, time out. You're telling me that it's all
it's just a circle.
A circle?
Yes.
Oh! Damn! All right, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm pretending like it's like big news, but it is actually big news. I had no idea what that. So it's a like the whole idea is the cycle of life.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
I can that.
I can with that, but you as well. Like at the same time, like I swear to God, my wife, tears in her eyes. She looked at me with a big.
I'm saying, honestly, unless you have a heart of stone, I was kind of like,
no. I wasn't crying, but I was like, I literally smiled.
It tugs at the heart.
I gave you like that smile, like this is a cute ass story. I think Ori is a cute ass story. It's a really cute story.
It is.
A good story. So, anyways, that's a long tangent where we get into way too much shit.
And you guys enjoy this shit.
Yeah, because the fact of the matter is, like, again, I will put a disclaimer: we are drunk, and the fact of the matter is also, I'm not that great at editing, so like,
we're gonna hope that
I can figure some shit out. I mean, the last time I did it, I'm 33, was 16 years ago. So let's figure out if I even have that shit on my Mac.
All right, so we're gonna do a smashed review time.
Woo, woo, woo. So, anyways, I drank Lucidity, which I gave you the whole rundown of. Again, 8% alcohol by Greater Good Imperial from Moose, Massachusetts, USA. They say, awesome. If you like IPA, you like juicy hops, it's great. It's a 4 out of 5. It's a really good beer. It's very strong. Like if you like hops and you like IPA, you're gonna feel it and you're gonna taste it, and it's good. Do you know what I mean? It's good, but at the same time, like if you don't like that shit, you're not gonna like it. So if you like hops, great. If you don't, no go. But
all right, so I'm gonna say maybe I wish I tried Lucidity. The Be Hoppy, I love IPAs. It was good. It wasn't as good as if you watch the first episode, I did Road to Ruin, which was excellent. It was an 8.5 double IPA. It was delicious.
It was.
This
good.
one wasn't quite as much bite as the other one. It was good. Don't get me wrong. I'll give it a 3.5 for a smash rating. So Be Hoppy was it made me be happy. I'll give it that.
It works.
It works.
And that's like sometimes when you drink a beer, that's what happens. If it works, it works.
That's what you need.
And at the same time, being 6.5 compared to 8, sometimes that's what you need.
as we're coming down, we probably need it. All right. So if you like what you listen to, subscribe to our podcast as well as our YouTube channel. You can find us on Instagram as well. My name is That 8-Bit Life.
I'm at SEC87. Sometimes I do beer reviews. Usually you'll see my kids.
And we'll see you next episode. Woo woo!